So let's talk about Joe Biden's mental health. So I want to talk about this in a very serious way, kind of like I talked about yesterday in my video, which I will link at the end of this video. I will put it on the screen at the end so you can go back and watch that in regards to the mental health crisis that we are entering and going to be seeing an increase in going forward as a result of the pandemic. But I want to talk about Joe Biden because we are going to see presidential debates at the end of September and 2 more in October before the November 3rd election. I wanted to give a few thoughts that about that whole situation. And the first being that, in my opinion, what we are witnessing is someone who is in the later part of their life and their brain is starting to deteriorate to the point where it's getting difficult to complete sentences, complete thoughts, and the frequency of those gaffes, which the media wants to say that he's had gaffes his whole career and he's had these kind of lapses in judgment, if you will, throughout his whole career. But the progression of Joe Biden's mental condition is jarring, which is why I think so many people are concerned about it, and the rapid rate that it is progressing, and also the tactic that is being used to prevent people from seeing those weaknesses is also jarring. And the media, the mainstream media that is on his side, is doing everything they can to cover this up because it's probably getting worse by the day. But I am going as far as to say that this should be considered elder abuse. When I think of myself and my grandparents, if they were in this condition where they kept confusing who their wife was and who their sister was, or not being able to string a full sentence together, even if it was given to them on a card for them to read, I don't think I would be able to stomach putting them on a stage for any elected office, let alone the presidency of the United States. I know he was a vice president before, but someone around him has got to be raising a red flag saying this is not good for him and he's only declining further. Why are we putting him through this? And so I think what would have been smart was bowing out after 2016 on a high on his career as far as being vice president. The only way he can go any higher in his career is to be president. But knowing his mental condition now, it's not really looking too good. One thing I want to note is that I actually had not an encounter with Joe Biden, but kind of I was in the vicinity of him during the 2018 midterm elections, where he actually came to my college campus. I was finishing up my last semester of college at this time, and he actually visited campus to campaign for local Democratic candidates to try to flip the House. And ultimately, that was a successful showing for him, and his support actually did help a lot of candidates in the Democratic field flip some seats. I think that would have been the best way for him to end his career, is end as vice president, try to preserve the legacy of Obama, and campaign for other candidates across the country, knowing that you had success doing that in 2018. Do it again in 2020 and until you feel like you can, even just putting out written statements so you don't have to be in public and you're not trying to win a race that is going to end up going to someone else anyway, and that would have eliminated a lot of the taking advantage of that I see going on around Joe, because it appears people are taking advantage of his situation mentally to push their own agenda and potentially manipulate him or do something towards him to kind of take over. So I thought that was another thing, and honestly, the reason I'm not really joking too much about this is I know there's a lot of memes out there that are humorous and are based in truth and are kind of truthful, but I just think it's really sad, to be honest, that no one around him is really telling him to kind of drop out or to not do this. I understand why, because like I said, they're taking advantage of the situation. They know he's going to be easily manipulated, and they know he's probably not going to last very long, whether it be he succumbs to whatever he's dealing with or he steps down because of what he's dealing with. I don't know. what the case is there specifically, but it's overall kind of sad to me. So we will see what happens with the debates. I have a feeling it's going to be hard to watch because Biden is not going to be all there. Maybe some miracle will happen where he just all of a sudden gets better and all of this was just kind of a fluke, one fluke after another, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I have a feeling they're going to try everything to make sure he doesn't have to debate, potentially even putting Kamala in somehow, or maybe having Joe step down and Kamala be the nominee. I don't know. There's still a lot of time for everything to kind of get thrown out of whack. So we will see what happens. And I'm sure I will cover it on here and let you know what I think. And we will come back to this video if something I said comes true that hasn't come true yet. So as I said earlier, make sure to check out my video from yesterday if you haven't already about the mental health crisis, what I think about what's going on, how people are reacting to the pandemic, and what I'm doing to trying to keep my mental state as strong as possible during these times. If you want to see that video, make sure to click right here. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, make sure you do subscribe to my channel, by the way, because I put out a new video every single day. Make sure to subscribe right here, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.